Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and I thought it'd be a great time for us to have what I call an urgent conversation. And here's why. Okay, I've been in the business now a week and one day. A week and one day, I started recruiting. I now have a total of seven in my downline. Okay, and I have out of that five, I personally uh, recruited. Okay. So what's my point? The point is, I can't tell you what you want out of this photo that you see in front of you. I call this living the boss lifestyle. Okay. Um, it could be you want the fast boats, cars, jewelries, the lovely homes. I don't know what it is that you actually desire. Okay. But the one thing that I do know is that to be successful in business, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to stop right where you're at right now. And you have to go inside of yourself. Okay. You're going to have to connect with the universe. You're going to have to connect with the inner you, your spirit. And you're going to have to ask you, what is it that you really want? One, out of life. What is it that you really want out of this business? Meaning, what are you expecting this business to do for you? Okay? Because everybody enters a business for a why, a inner why, a deep-seated inner why. It could be, like I said, it could be the fast cars, planes, jets, whatever. It could be the lovely home. It could be the fact that you want to send your kid to college. It could be the fact that you want to retire early. Okay, it could be the fact that you want to buy your mom a house or retire your dad because your dad's been working a hard job for the last 25 years and you're tired of seeing him suffer, or you just want to thank him for what he provided, he and she or she provided for you as a young child. I don't know what your why is, but I know you're going to find the answers inside of you. Then once you found it, what you need to do is to sit down and write it down on a piece of paper. This is my why, because then your why suddenly becomes your vision. Now you've established your why, which is your vision. The next most important thing that you have to do, okay, and said best by, I guess you would call it, one of the oldest veterans in the business, Mr. Jim Rohn, you have to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to repeat that. You have to create a sense of urgency. Without a sense of urgency, desires loses its value. So what is your desire really? Your desire is your vision, which is your why. That's what your desire really is. Without a sense of urgency, your desire loses its value. This is why it's important that you turn around and you write it down. And once you've written it down, what you have to do, and it's very important, okay, when you're writing it down, you have to speak it out to the universe. Because the universe doesn't know what you want. The universe meaning God. Okay? Because once you've written it down, it takes on a reality. And then you speak it out into the universe, and we can really get deep here. Then you have to start forming visions in your mind, which you call dreams. But your dreams in reality are your desires, which are your visions for the future. And as you know, and if you've done your homework, you can make this come into reality. Okay? But it all comes back down to, what's your sense of urgency? If you've been in the business 72 hours and you don't have one person on board yet, then you're doing something wrong. Because you really don't have a sense of urgency. It's a possibility that you're studying the materials too long. I've always believed in this, okay? Go out and do it, and then come back and learn what you did. What am I trying to say? There's a lot of material in that back office. Nobody's expecting you to get it. If you sit there and you're wasting time studying it until you get it to get started, you'll never get started. So we're back to that word again called urgency. Success comes from urgency. Once the urgency comes about, then you've created momentum. Okay? Momentum moves mountains. Momentum, and you and I know this, lifts planes into the air. Okay? If you've ever been in any plane, sat on a red runway, heard those engines roar, I mean really roar, you're in a fully loaded plane. I don't know how many tons of luggage, okay, or how many tons of people that's sitting on that plane, right? But you hear the louder you hear the engine, you know that we're about to start picking up some momentum. As soon as the pilot takes his hand off of the brake, what happens? You kick back in your seat. And the reason that you kick back in your seat is because he's picking up pace. He's picking up momentum. Okay? He's going to get that plane up in the air, and he has to do it quickly. There's a real urgency here because he's about to run out of runway. Okay? He's about to run out of runway. So he's got to get that plane up into the air. And if you take and turn that same sense of urgency into your business, it's the same thing. Okay? Because your urgency, if you don't get started quick enough, you're going to run out of belief that you can. And what's going to happen? You're going to have a crash landing. So, my job as your sponsor is to make sure I'm sitting there as the co-pilot. I'm checking all the instruments for you to make sure all the lights are on green, that you can release that brake, Captain, and you can go ahead and take off down that runway, right? And as soon as we hit a certain speed, that red light suddenly going to hit green. You're going to pull back on that handle and you're going to lift off. Your business has to have urgency to get off the ground. Okay? So the question you have to ask yourself on a daily basis is, what is my sense of urgency? And am I creating momentum? I hope this all makes sense to you. Okay? Because I'm telling you, everything that I've seen around in the industry, and I've been in this particular industry for 7 years. Actually, I take it back, 2005. I got out for a couple of years, okay? So let's say off and on, but back steadily since 2012. Everything I've seen in this industry, there are too many success stories. Let's take our company just for a second. I can name off the top of my head, okay, 7 individuals that I know of under the age of 25 that are making somewhere around $40,000-$45,000 a month. Oh wait, we'll go back because I know 2 of them are making 25. Almost said he's making 30. So let's say over $25,000 a month under the age of 25. What they can do, you can do. What they can do, you can do. All right? Look, I pray that somebody's gotten something out of this because I believe we all deserve the good life. Whatever you call the good life. But remember, nothing will happen unless you find your why, create your vision, get that sense of urgency so you can build up your momentum so you can get your business in the air. Look, I wish everybody an awesome day. Let's go get this. This is for real. I know you can do this. All right. You probably saw the little flyer I made or slide I made that says, "We got this." All right. We got this. So back home we say, "All right." I'm from South Jersey. We got this. We got this. We really got this. So work on getting your plane up in the air. And I'm here for you. That's my job, to support you. God bless each and every one of you. And I will see you at the top.